All right, I think they discontinued this radio.
Okay, we'll see you later too, man. 040-597 with the wave on back and reading on this mail.
Let's see. I don't even know. I've never liked the ASC thing. I just always thought it was a little wacky. But it's 6 o'clock. There's really not a lot happening. So I got this guy who wanted to trade for something I had for sale. I'm trying to remember how it all happened, but anyway. Or maybe he posted this for sale, and I saw it on OfferUp. But this guy bought this thing from Walcott Radio, and he paid them everything they wanted for it, which would have been like $400. He had it unlocked, peaked, and tweaked, and whatever they do to it. I've got the receipt. I've got the original box. He was a weird guy. He didn't want that much money for it, like $100. And I was just like gonna buy it from him, but then I told him I had some CB amplifiers, and I had an amplifier called a hooker. It had 2 MRF 455s in it or something like that. It was a little 2-pill amp. And a guy used to use it with the Radio Shack 10-meter radio. And I found it along with the broken 10-meter radio at the Goodwill outlet. Anyway, the amp was good. And I've had it for a number of years and just never really had a reason to use it. So anyway, the guy was like, yeah, I'll trade you straight across. So I traded him. And about 2 weeks later, he said, just wanted to let you know this amplifier is no good. Doesn't work. And I had a tech look at it, and it's no good. This is the thing I hate about CB people. They always... This is for the guys that don't work on their own shit. They always say, I had a tech. When they say that, it means I had the dumbest motherfucker I could find for the least amount of money take a look at this. And he didn't know what he was talking about. That's what tech means. Do you know what a fucking tech is? Like a radio repair tech? They're few and far between. But anyway, so he says, he tells me, yeah, I used it on my TS430. It lasted for like a few minutes. Oh my fucking God. I had the power turned down. I'm like, dude, you're out of your fucking mind. You hooked a 100-watt radio up to a 100-watt fucking amplifier. What do you expect? See, he was thinking that he was going to get like 200 watts out of the amplifier by running a Kenwood TS430 into the fucking thing. Which, the TS430 would be really hard to turn down. It's got 2 Toshiba 2879s. It'd be really hard to turn down on AM. It'd be really hard to turn down on sideband. In fact, I'm not even sure if it does turn down on sideband, but at least not without a mod. Because the drive control on the 440 doesn't work on sideband unless you modify it. So, he blew it up. Then he sent it to a tech. And then the tech told him, it's completely garbage. The guy ripped you off. Or something. I don't know what he said to him. And I told the dude, I was like, look, it's not garbage. Maybe you blew it up, but you can fix it. But you're not supposed to hook up a 430 up to a 2-pill CB amp. And he's like, well, I already told the guy he could have it. Says one of these damn techs, hey, it's broken, can I have it? Then he's going to go fix it and then sell it. So anyway, the guy sent all this shit through text message. And I got kind of irritated because I was like, you're telling me that the thing was no fucking good, but you hooked it up to fucking Kenwood. And, well, why are you telling me this? Oh, don't worry, I don't want the radio back or anything like that. I was like, mad because I'm like, this guy's trying to fucking guilt trip me when it's his own fucking mistake. And anyway, I was almost getting ready to just tell him, just come fucking take your radio. But like, wait a minute, no. Why should I have to fucking take back a burned up amplifier? Well, that's when he said, I think I actually did tell him to come get your fucking radio. I can't. I don't have the amp anymore. I told the guy he could have it or something like that. This was during like COVID, but anyway. This was a weird dude. He was weird. So anyway, I ended up with the radio, and I used it in the truck a few times on 10 meters, and it worked okay, but it always kind of sounded like it was off frequency a little bit. But it worked good for everything else. I mean, I've got it right now hooked up to this speaker because the bottom firing speaker kind of sucks, but it's a cool radio, but it doesn't have the quality or the feel of like the old HR 2510. It feels really cheap and plastic. But the reason I dragged it out today was because I've ordered that other export radio. I ordered the QT60, the Quad 5 version. And one thing that kind of turns me off about a lot of these radios is that they don't actually have CW on them. So, like, they're not even trying to hide the fact that they're actually really just a CB radio. But I honestly would really just rather have like a really good 10 meter radio. And it's kind of not really happening. Like, to a guy that operates on CB that listens to everybody else that's off frequency every once in a while, these radios don't seem that bad because they're actually pretty decent. But if you use anything from the late 80s on up, that's Yaesu, ICOM, Kenwood, or whatever, or Linko, they're not going to be off frequency at all, anything where you could fucking notice if they're in alignment. They're not going to drift at all, but these radios will. And so this one here, I have never been able to get it nuts on 10 meters because it's the temperature changes so rapidly where I live, between 30 degrees between highs and lows, that you could go use it in the morning, it'd be on frequency, by the evening it would be off. So it doesn't really have any temperature compensation stability. But I don't know. Anyway, I don't know if there's anything else. Oh, we got Mexico. And I don't know what it does, like when you go past that. And you can see your frequency there. Here we go, 40 below. Which is kind of neat if you're into the exports, so you can kind of figure out how that works. And then I guess that's band C, which makes no sense. And then it jumps to band E, which makes no sense. And then it jumps to band G, I think it is. It looks like a 9, but it's a G. I think. I don't know. I wish they would have just used a capital letter. Like, what's the point of that? That looks like a 9. And so I think it'll just keep going down until we hit 12 meters. I don't even know what band that is. R? What the hell is that? Then we got L. I never really looked at this. And we're about at the bottom of it. We got J. So J is up in the top of the 10 meter band. We're at 30 megahertz. So you get L. It starts out at L. 24.715. And let me see here if I grab this microphone. What's nice about the microphone, it actually has rubber up and down buttons, which I think that's pretty cool. And I think you push this, you can go ahead and change the position. So D is CB, I guess. C is not. C, D, and H. And H, I think they actually use that because that's actually ham. And then J is above it, and then L must mean like low band. And then this G, I don't know. There's an F band also. And if you keep going through here, it seems like it changes. J, L, G, C, B, F, J, L, G, C, B. Okay. Well, what happened to H? It just disappeared. So this thing does some weird stuff. It's because it breaks it down into like weird crap. D is 2800. Well, so let's start at 3. Now the microphone jumps up channel wise. What the hell? Okay. And what's annoying for me is like I don't really want to tune through the ham bands and have it click, you know? Mode. Let's go. We're going to do something here. Just because I haven't messed with this thing in so long. Oh, my God. We're going to go... $28. $450. We're going to put it into dummy mode.
Test 1, 2, 3, 4. Boop, boop, boop. Okay. Hello?
I actually don't even know if it's coming through that. I think there's talkback on the 1, 2, 3, 4. What do we got this radio set to? Here also 1, 2, 3, 4. We Cal Power Pep. Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4. On the 20-watt scale. Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see. Hello, hello, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This radio is really hard to, or this meter is really hard to figure out. It's it basically you're just looking at like a relative thing. Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4. It does about 25 to 30 watts or so. Just under the 40 mark, about 35 watts. So I see about 35 watts out of it. So let me see. We'll turn the Yaesu back on.
Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Now let's see where it's zero beating at. It's actually perfect on frequency. So that's cool. But anyway, I had it in the truck and it was like in really nice shape when I got it. This stupid bracket scratched the living hell out of this thing. It's like, can you guys just like put like some kind of like felt padding on the inside of these brackets or something? So anyway, since they're not making this radio anymore, it's probably going to become a collector item here, I guess. Like people used to collect the HR 2510s. I think they did anyway. People still want those radios, but they are so damn old at this point. And the displays all had black in the corners and stuff. Like I got one from Kevin that he bought like in, I don't know what year, but probably 90. And it was in good shape, but the corner of the display just kept getting blacker and blacker. I ended up selling it to some guy for like $100, something like that. And I remember a few years earlier than that, they were pretty expensive. So I don't know what they go for anymore, but they're always in bad shape. So most of these radios, after they're 30 years old, are just probably a lot of, I don't know. It seems like the old CB radios last longer than the exports, but anyway, it's kind of a cool radio to use for 10 meters and stuff. But like the band scheme and all that with the export like channel crap is kind of annoying. Especially because like the microphone, like if I'm on 450, see I just jumped to 435. And it was just going to go in channels at that point. So you're on the F band, channel 12, channel 13. And if you want to go in between, you need to use the knob. I think there's a way to assign the microphone to do it, but there might not be. I don't know. So for me, it was too much trouble to use this driving down the road and talk on 10 meters because I found it was easier just to get, you know, a slightly larger HF radio. If you look at the size of this radio and you look at the size of the power supply underneath it, this radio is the size of the Yaesu 891 or ICOM 706. So let me show you. So the 891 is actually smaller. Lengthwise, if you're like put everything on here, it's absolutely the same. And I got the rails on mine, so it takes up a little more room. But yeah, I mean, you know, so if you're gonna spend $200 or $300 on a radio, and you're already a ham, you'd be better off to buy this radio for like $700. The reason I don't use this one is because the SWR meter on it doesn't work right. It came from somebody else who screwed it up, and so I just don't feel like buying a new one. But yeah, this is pretty much like the ultimate mobile radio. Let me look at it. You're paying like just a little bit double the money, and you get all the bands. And none of them have built-in tuners anyway, so, you know, most people that do 11 meters are like, what's a tuner, you know? So anyway, honestly, that was why I never used the Lincoln. But anyway, we're going to play around with the new radio when it shows up tomorrow. Hopefully it'll show up tomorrow. The QT60, it was super cheap, $170 on sale, $176. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching.